When we talked to the folks at Lock 19 last night, they talked about how the water level doesn't change significantly over summer, but they do make little adjustments using the dams every hour or two. So we woke up this morning and saw that the water level had changed by a bit. And that just means we've got a little bit more mud to carry our boat through this morning. Still a very convenient camp. Also, we heard a lot of splashing right as we were going to sleep last night, which we've had at a lot of camps, and we figured it was fish jumping or birds running into the water or something. But when we got out this morning, we saw there's all these little feet, and these are just right next to our tent, 4 feet away from our tent. So, not sure exactly what that is. Maybe someone knows, but in the meantime, I'm going to assume it's an adorable little otter.
Today on Matt's Taters on the Mississippi, Matt's wrong about everything. Taters is talking with her Somali pirate burqa.
Lock 20.
So per the tracks down here, we had turkeys and what looks like might be otters right by our camp up there. So we managed to sail in here last night, but obviously the water's dropped a bunch since then, and Taters is about to hit a log. And that is the grand town of Keokuk, which, based on what we came back by last night, is heavily industrialized on this side. That was the reason why we didn't clean up in the water last night. So just a short distance down from us, there was actually this. It's listed as C&T camp, but based on what I could see on Google, I wasn't sure if it was publicly available or sometimes these are private clubs. And but before Taters found her little corner that she loved, that was actually what I was aiming for. I could see some indication on the Google map. Though it's such a crapshoot because the water's down lower here. Most of the time on the map, it's a different season, different height, etc. And more exciting, I mean, not in a visual sense, but from a map sense, is that the Des Moines River comes in right over there. And so that means we have officially left Iowa behind and we are now on the Illinois-Missouri border for a while. Not quite as wide as we had yesterday, but still big, and we have a little bit of a headwind. For the record, I was paddling and listening to my audiobook, and look what Taters has led me up to. Judgmental Taters. This guy actually invited us up. He has one of those cabins on stilts. It's the one that has the fire going. And he was... apparently they have hosted a bunch of paddlers here over the years.
Fun classes at least, and I do get a kick when I like.
So we are delayed a little bit again, but those guys were really nice. They brought us into the cabin, gave us a cold beer because Taters has never met a morning beer she doesn't like. And we were just visiting. We got to learn a lot about the river in this area. Even Taters was enjoying it. And today on Matt's Taters on the Mississippi, do we make any Mississippi River miles, or is Taters just going to take endless breaks today?
The trick is avoiding people to talk to.
No, that's the trick for me. For you, it's just saying no pee breaks. So this is both a back channel that is smaller than the main channel by quite a bit and so much more massive than the Mississippi during the early sections. The ongoing adventures of finding turtles for Taters. Trying to describe them before they plop off of the branch like that.
He's getting really good at describing the specific shapes of logs and branches, which is great because I would have only picked out about maybe 10% of these on my own.
And we are back to just a little bit of headwind. We've got some current here, but you can't really tell from the waves. Hasn't really been warm enough to swim, so shore breaks are generally stretching breaks. So we pretty constantly see really big dead fish. I assume they're being hit by the boats or turned up into the propellers. Or we're just seeing the same fish, and he's been with us for the last 2 weeks.
On to Lock 20.
We just had a fish that was probably about 20 pounds jump out right about there to there and splash us. And totally ruined our falling asleep while paddling. And we're around Lock 20, and unfortunately it looks like there might be a barge in it.
Lock 20, this is downbound canoe.
Southbound? We have better luck when you call it southbound. Now it's going to go bad.
I should be more patient. They heard me. It's not like they don't hear you.
It would seem like sometimes they do not.
They're just busy.
Maybe.
Yeah, what's the rough wait time to go through the lock?
We've got it showing here now. It'll be about 45 minutes to an hour.
Thank you.
You want to...
You bet.
Should we ask about a portage or a...
Taters just got attacked by a very, very large fish. Sounded like we hit a rock, but apparently it was a large fish hitting the side of our boat.
It hit the side of the boat right here. And I think it hit my back a little bit too.
That's number 3. I think they're starting to learn from those orcas that have started attacking ships, you know? So we are stuck here waiting, but I did find Taters a duck to keep her company, so. And then I had to explain it's for people to lure in little ducks so they can blow their heads off.
Is only big enough for one animal friend. One canoe to Lock 20.
20 back.
We are out of the way on the beach, so just let us know when we should head over.
Okay, yep. After he makes a couple and shoves out, when he's all clear, we'll leave the gates open for you.
Thank you.
God, heathen. How is it I'm the nice one in the relationship? People are like, oh yeah, the giggly girl, she's nice, and they don't realize how mean you are. Those people earlier, we went up, and she was literally like, yeah, maybe I should be nicer. Anyway, we're just waiting for the tug to come through. Basically, they were in the middle of doing a double lockage. We think the barge was already in place when we came around the corner, and the tug with any remaining barges is just coming through. And not that we're impatient, but it seems like at long last, these guys are getting moving. Little does that tug know, though, that once they get over there, those fish are not going to take their crap. We don't know what's up with the fish today. They've been jumping all over the place. Okay, now that would be a little more fun to be behind. All this time hearing about tugboat wake. And it is finally our turn. No ropes and nobody to keep an eye on us. Taters could be up to God knows what. You'd think after about 20 locks everything would be the same, and so we would just sail right through knowing exactly what everybody wanted. But as I've mentioned before, the only consistency between locks seems to be the bits of inconsistency and, you know, protocol, how they're built, etc. Okay, they did actually come out and chat with us briefly. This was the first lock since number 1, though, that just kind of let us float free while all this was going on. They did warn us to be careful not to get stuck behind the doors, so lest you think that there's not safety protocols.
Thankfully, by the time we got through Lock 20, the wind was totally gone. The water is super flat, and we got a big, huge river all to ourselves.
We made friends again. So yes, after going so long without people, with people just waving and not offer us something, I'm just saying we got beer from 2 different people today. We're getting better at this. Maybe it's the scruffiness and the smell. So if this keeps up, I'm thinking we might need like a beer holder up here. No, we'll get those hats. The hats where you can put there and you can drink out of the straw. That's even more efficient. I think that'll be good. Well, don't worry, I've got another patch that said world's most okayish thru hiker, so we can make it work, Jen, with branding. So this is the town in LaGrange, and we were just talking because we saw a post on Facebook from somebody who had actually been camping out next to the boat ramp. And to us, that sounds pretty horrible. You know, it's going to be loud, you're going to be bothered most of the time. And there's so many options for camping around here, it's kind of crazy. However, there is a pizza place over there that somebody in this boat, not her, totally not her, would totally be feeling pizza. But alas, we have to make miles. There's Taters paddling into the sunset, away from the sunset. There's Taters paddling away from Matt's Pizza. The paddle into sadness. That can be today's title.
That doesn't make sense at all. It was a really happy day.
Except I didn't get pizza, and so now I'm sad. So we're paddling into sadness because we went by pizza.
So we have had fish jumping all around us, so I'm gonna see if they will jump now that I am videoing. There we go. Yeah, it's so surprising to me that they jump like synchronized all at once. But I guess it makes sense. They're just all getting spooked by something at exactly the same moment.
Yeah, that one where the tug beeped and they all jumped in that basin.
Oh, that was so impressive. There was probably 100 all at once.
They just didn't warn us they were doing it. They're like, haha, we'll scare the canoeists. We haven't actually had one hit the boat since that last lock. But we get a lot of them jumping around us. I thought it might have been the sploosh of the paddle, to use a technical term.
That was a good one. Did you capture that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you can see them kind of roiling around in places. You can see as they swim, and when it got shallow, we actually had their fins coming up a couple of times. So we've been doing our usual, having fun in there without your dead weight in the front. We've been playing chicken with Nightfall as usual, but we did seem to find something here that is going to work. I thought she might particularly like this because somebody left a vegetable here. Not to be confused with the cigarettes and fire pit remains that she's not going to enjoy. So Jen is enjoying the vegetable I found her. There's a giant squash, people left. I think it's because they were obviously sitting here like smoking, and they're like, I'm not going to have this squash stinking up my camp, so they threw it over there.
That is very random.
Yeah, that's the name of the game out here.
Random way to end a random day.
It has been another long stretch where Taters is not letting me shower, so apparently this is my only option. With those big fish that seem to like to eat dangling things and little worms.
So today was the first day in a long time that we made less than 30 miles because Matt ran into the bane of his existence, at least on trips.
Hey!
People to talk to.
Awesome people to talk to.
It was really awesome. Got to learn a lot about the river, living on the river, and kind of the efforts to ongoing challenge of trying to control the river.
Don't forget that cool story about the guy losing all his fingers.
A horrifying story about someone who lost all of his fingers except his thumbs working on the barge first day on the job. Horrifying, but really, really interesting to talk to people. Anyway, nice paddling other than that, especially after Lock 20 once the wind died down. And we once again have a super scenic and super convenient sandbar camp.
Plus, this is basically a lap pool because I'm swimming against the current. I think I'm going to be swept out to sea here.
Home sweet home for the night.
And we have more fireflies, which we basically never get tired of. See how she freezes? She knows that if she reacts, things go on YouTube. So instead, she just very calmly tries to stare off into the distance and hopes I go away. See the cute thing in the mud?
No, I don't see it.